Hello traders, right, let's try and make a very quick video. I've just made a video, uploaded it. I've just had a long conversation with a friend on the phone and opened my charts and thought, can I find a trade? First thing I look at is the time of the hour. So the 30-minute candle closed recently. Well, no, that's not the first thing. First thing I look at is the momentum indicators like the dashboard, and now this will never go off my charts, I don't think, because I've gained so many new insights with it. Excuse me. So I look at this, I look at this, and then I look at this, and then I shove Dean's lines on there. That's the sort of not necessarily in all that order, but it all gets looked at for a potential trade. So the last 30-minute or most recent one closed with growing momentum. We've got inverse divergence. In other words, we're making higher highs on both the momentum indicators and the price. So, what I call proper divergence would be a higher high with a lower high here. So we've got positive divergence, if you want to use that expression. Then I've got Dean's lines on the charts, and I want to start looking at the lower time frames. I will go down the 15, but the first thing I noticed flicking through was M1. Now, this looked appalling. There, see? And I don't mention this very often, but there is no way that is a good sign for a long trade in this instance, a continuation in the what looked bullish on the 30-minute. So I rarely mention that actually, but that is a massive part of my analysis. I want to be, that's got to be all colorful. This is, on the 5-minute, it's flat as well. There's not a lot going on. We're going in this downwards trajectory. I get a real problem with that one word, but never say never. I mean, we can see what's happened here. We've got one of our flickery new triggers after a period of sideways. It's just, I know you could look at this without this, and you could look at the candles, and what do they tell you? Well, I could analyze it, and I could tell you exactly what they tell me on multiple time frames, but this makes it so much faster. Excuse me. So that was horrid on the M1. I wonder what that was like on the M1, just out of interest. Because, as I say a million times, always look left. So we know this was horrid on M1, and that was horrid on M5, and this isn't so horrid on M5 here. So let's zoom out. Super horrid on M1. But what's happened? We've got a push, a bust, a pullback, a break up, or just a green, a grey, and then a break and close above the green. And look what happens. We get the same thing goes on the RSI. Precisely about here with a double green, triple green if you include the MACD. So talk about the 3 green bars and 3 red bars. So we haven't got a bust, pullback, break and close. We need to break above. This is currently our bust, but it's a very, very weak bust. So I don't want to labour on with this video because I've made my point. M1 is horrible, and we need it to be nice, and that's all there is to it. That's all I'm looking at all the time, flicking through different time frames and making sure they all add up. I mean, everything could, sorry, my mouse is doing my bloody head in, but I can't, I'm too lazy to get a new one. And I know I've got about 5 mice around my place at the moment. And I've also got a little fly flying in front of my screen that is doing my head in too. So just in that frame of mind at the moment. So what came first? The break of the level. It's all going nasty on this, isn't it? Let's go back to the one minute again. I had to reboot a while ago. So when it starts to break through this will all start turning right. This will start turning right, and this will probably turn right. I say when, more likely if, actually, because what astounds me is we've had some fantastic moves. I mean, there have been trades everywhere this morning, everywhere. And we've got 3 countries, including the USA, on holiday, bank holiday at the moment, according to Forex Factory this morning. So I like to use the expression, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And, you know, the Brits and the Frankfurt boys, the Europeans, are taking advantage of these bank holidays. Or I didn't check who the other bank holidays are, but one is definitely the USA. So anyway, I digress. That is why there is no potential trade right at this minute. And you know, we've got all this happening as well. Just the momentum is jacking off, or not jacking off. That's a terrible. Is backing off. So there you go, guys. That's something I don't often talk about, but it is ultra important. I mean, you can't possibly take a long without a green on the 1 minute, for goodness sake. And you know, it doesn't matter what the 5 minute is telling you. If that 1 minute looks wrong, then you cannot do it. I got that fly. So that's it. It wasn't meant to be a long video. You know, if I come back to my charts, check the time, check this, check what's going on. There's multi-time frames. Bang Dean's lines on. See where the next level is above, and then I wouldn't take that as read. I would look on, make sure I've got enough, because I only have a default set, minimal default setting for the amount of lines. But I will just do this because it doesn't get talked about long enough. But what I do to double check all my levels is, because I know I've got 10, 10, 5, 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, 10 weeks, 10. Oh, let's have a look at the indicator. Goodness sake. Let's have a look at my settings. 10, 10, 5. 10 months, 10 weekly levels, candles, 10, 5 dailies, and 5 H4s. So that's my monthly. So I go back 10 candles. That's good, because I only need, if I'd done it manually, I only need to do these 5 or 6. And then weekly. Now this is where you need to, because obviously 5 or 6 on the weekly wouldn't take into account this one. I hope that makes sense on Dean's line settings. And the daily, because I've got that set to 5, yeah, that's okay, but we need to look above us, what's going on way over here. So, and these, actually, it's worth doing 10 on the daily, because that would fill in a few more. So I could just do that, because all it needs is that changing, and it will just update. And let's have a look now at our lower time frame. See if we got, nothing fills in the gap there, but that proved my point, or worked out, showed you what I need to do and how easy it is using Dean's lines to do that. So let's have a look at the H4s then. And remember, they're set to 5, and we really should be looking at these H4s and even these H4s. So if we put a yellow on that H4 high over there, no, it's below our price, so we should be looking way over there if there's anything to see. No, H4s are miles away if we are not already at all-time highs. I haven't checked GJ. So we'll look at the monthly again. So this has gone on a bit rambly. Oh, we've got loads. So this is where really, when we're trading around here and looking at those levels, we need to start looking at these levels. So I'll take the scroll off. And motor on over that way there. My mouse, see, it's just doing my head in. Scroll is off, so I should be able to drag that across. So why isn't it letting me do that? Unless we're out of data. Oh, we're out of the monthly data all the way back to 2001. Oh my god. So let's just zoom in then. There. So we could put a yellow one there. Didn't mean to do that one. We want to do that one, but my mouse is playing up. And can't see the current price because it's zoomed out so far. So really we need to go down to the weekly, but we'd be out of data there, wouldn't we? So we've got a bit of a problem. Not enough data to put enough levels in. So, but you can see what I would do in a perfect world. Apologies if I've made a, what? That fly is still doing my head in. Anyway, you get my drift. So we have a bit of a problem, as Scotty would say to Captain Kirk, because we don't have enough data. So any push up above this level is a bit naughty. Let's have a look at that M1 now. We're on. Now we're moving up, and get the scroll back on. See, we've got some power on the M1 now, and lo and behold, what does it say? When we attack that level, then everything would start looking good. Bust, pullback, break and close. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Well, it was worth all that rambling and prating about because it's doing what it said on the tin. And this is what I trade day in, day out. I know what I'm waiting for. Guys, it's not proper strong momentum, but you can see there was a little scalp in there. And you have to be fast. And, you know, this is why I can't do this in a sort of live environment, because it can take hours to do something and pull all the way back down there, or it can take minutes. And we have to watch the clock as well. 5-minute closes. Well, what was the 15? We were already looking at it after the 15-minute close, so that wasn't 100% good to go. And the time being 53, so 45, 50, so 5-minute candle. That closed positive. That was the positive 5-minute candle there. So we can trade the break of that green bar high, providing we get a 1-minute bar with a positive trigger as well. I should have moved the 5-minute over actually to the new bar. So that is the new bar. That was the high, so we need to put the high on that. And then a positive signal. And it's not the best, as I say, the multi-time frame, the momentum is tracking off, and we haven't got a clean target above. I've proved that to you. So without that clean target above, I wouldn't really want to be taking this trade. But having said that, I would look at other pairs, maybe EJ or UJ, and see whether we could find a clean target above, because they all move together. Oh, I did check UJ actually before I opened this one, and UJ was looking extremely weak, and there was a clear target above, but it was 2 pips, and I'm not interested in that. I want about 6, 7, 8 pips to a target, especially if it's a zone, because anything could happen. And that's only 3.5 pips. That's paltry. That is not worth my effort. I'm not that desperate anymore. You know, I said I would take 1 or 2 pips, but there's no way, you know, because 5 or 6 trades today, full size and stuff, that's all you need really. More, what, 6 times more than you need really. Anyway, sorry, this wasn't meant to be a rambling video, but there's a lot of things I think about every time I open these charts and talk about them. So apologies for that, guys, but hopefully there's something of value here. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.